morning in the Americas, good evening in Asia, good afternoon in Kenya and East Africa. It's exactly 4 p.m. Time for Citizen TV Briefs. My name is Jimmy Mbogo. Let's get you informed on some of the stories making headlines here in the country. We start at the JKIA, where 4 suspects linked to the killing of Kasipul MP Charles Ngondo Were were arraigned earlier today. The magistrate court at the JKIA has allowed police to detain the suspects for 30 days pending the conclusion of investigation. The 4, including a police officer, were arrested following an operation in Nairobi on Saturday. Now they have been named as William Imoli Shigali, Juma Ali Haikai, Douglas Mushiri Wambugu, and David Mihingo Kagame. In a related story, now, meanwhile, a police post-mortem examination on the body of the slain MP has revealed that he died due to multiple internal organ injury. Chief Government Pathologist who conducted the autopsy at the Lee Funeral Home said the MP was shot at 5 with, that is, with bullets penetrating to the internal and delicate organs. The post-mortem examination was also attended by family lawyers led by Apollo Mboya and Peter Kopere. All right, and away from that, we move on now, where 4 police officers have been charged with the murder of baby Samantha Pendo during the 2017 post-election violence. The Director of Public Prosecution, that is DPP, has approved charges against 4 and dropped charges against 6 senior officers following a review of the case files. Among those facing prosecution include John Chengo Masha, who has been charged with serious crimes against humanity, including murder, rape and torture under the International Crimes Act. Prosecutors allege that Masha failed to take reasonable measure to prevent the unlawful killing of baby Samantha Pendo by officers under his command, who also gained forceful entry into several homes where they reportedly beat residents and raped several women. Lina Koge has also been charged with murder in connection with the events that took place on August 12, 2017. It is further alleged that officers involved in the operation extorted money from the victims. The court was also informed that 11 suspects, Mohammed Ba, who is also linked to the murder of baby Pendo, remains at large years after the tragic incident. This marks the first time that officers have been charged under the International Crimes Act.
The particulars of the offense are that you, first accused, John Chengo Masha, fails to take all necessary and reasonable measures within your power to prevent or suppress the unlawful killing of BSP.
National Police Service have not been able to trace one Mr. Mohammed Ba Amin, who is a retired police officer.
Now, moving on, the High Court has declared Worldcoin's collection of biometric data from Kenyans unconstitutional, citing the company's failure to conduct a mandatory data protection impact assessment. In its ruling, the court found that Worldcoin had failed to register as a data processor in Kenya in violation of the Data Protection Act. As a result, the company has been ordered to permanently delete all biometric data unlawfully collected using its eye scanning ORB device under the strict supervision of the Office of Data Protection Commissioner. The court also prohibited the company from further processing such data without conducting an adequate data protection impact assessment or obtaining valid consent. During the hearing, the Office of the Data Protection argued that the processing of the personal data through Worldcoin project did not adhere to the principles of data protection as set out in Section 25 of the Act. President William Ruto has continued with his tour of Migori County a day after a shoe was thrown at him in Kihancha. Speaking as he toured projects in Rongo, he said he's committed to uniting the nation to create a conducive environment for economic prosperity. President Ruto inspected the construction of the Roisir market that will accommodate more than 300 traders. He also commissioned St. Paul's Rongo Mixed Day Secondary School.
Wangwana, wacheni ukabila, wacheni ni chuki. Wacha tuunganishe Kenya. Kenya ni yetu sisi zote. Na mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa sehemu hii. Sawa sawa? Mimi nawauliza vile tulikubaliana na baba tuunganishe Kenya hii. Mnasema tuendelee ama tuendelee?
Now, Health CS Duale is asking retired President Uhuru Kenyatta to allow President William Ruto implement his plan. Duale, who spoke in Garissa, has asked Uhuru to stop what he termed as inciting the youth to rise up against the government and its leadership. He says Uhuru risks losing respect as a statesman and that he should emulate other former presidents who kept off politics.
Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Rais wa 4 wa Kenya. Tulikupatia nafasi wakati ulikuwa rais miaka 10. Hata tulikupatia nafasi uongoze wakati umefanyia dhulma mingi Mheshimiwa William Ruto wakati alikuwa naibu wako. Ulifanyia dhulma wengi, watu kama wengi katika hiyo mrengo ya William Ruto wakati hiyo. Lakini hatukutatiza na hatukuincite. Lakini tulikupatia nafasi. Tunataka wewe pia uige mfano wa maraisi waliotangulia wewe kama hayati Kenyatta, baba yako, hayati Mzee Moi na Kibaki, ili Wakenya pia wakupatie heshima wakati huu ambao umestaafu.
A majority of Kenyans have expressed the need for the National Government Constituency Development Fund and the National Government Affirmative Action Fund to be entrenched in the Constitution for the role they have played in supporting development and livelihoods in rural Kenya. The sentiments expressed on day one of a 3-day National Assembly-led public participation exercise on the entrenchment of the two funds alongside the Senate Oversight Fund in the Constitution have also seen Kenyans call for the increment of those funds for the role they have played in the security and education sector for the last 23 years. The High Court in September last year had declared NG-CDF unconstitutional, forcing MPs to seek to amend the law.
Wakenya, kila Mkenya mahali yako apitisha hii pesa igie kwa hata igie kwa katiba. Ikuwe inasaidia Mkenya, sababu Mkenya si mwenye ako huko juu. Mkenya ni mwenye ako hapa chini, especially kama wale watu waga tunaongoza hapa chini.
Hatuwezi kumbali CDF isimamishwe kwa sababu tumeona inafanya kazi. Na wale wanapinga kama mheshimiwa wetu Raila Odinga, tunamwambia juu maana ya CDF wanyamaze.
Watoto wetu sahi nao wamejua kwenda form 1 mpaka form 4. Zamani ilikuwa kupeleka mtoto ukiwa unaishi huko eneo la pengine Mnagoa Dola ama Ndatani mpaka ulete mtoto mpaka St. George's ama ulete mtoto mpaka Mariakani, walikuwa wanafundisha ni wale ambao matajiri.
Na hata wanaomba hiyo fund ya CDF iongezwe kutoka 2.5 hadi 5%.
At the same time, Wajir West Member of Parliament Yusuf Mohammed Farah has launched a 56 million shillings bursary for his constituents. Farah said the initiative is set to benefit over 7,500 students across various educational levels, including 2,500 students in institutions of higher learning. Speaking at the launch, he backed the entrenchment of the NG-CDF in the Constitution, warning that abolishing the fund would negatively impact students and hinder development efforts at the grassroots.
It is now the high time for each and every person in the constituency to participate in that exercise and to either accept or reject that proposal. But my advice is to the constituency, this constituency I'm talking about, I am representing. We have never seen any development before CDF. Before counties, there was CDF. And now the county came in. If we abolish CDF, this money will not come back to the county government. It will not be devolved to the county government. Why? Because CDF is doing only the national government functions.
From Wajir, we want to cross over to Mombasa, where 3 families in Kongwea, Mombasa County, have been left homeless after a fire razed down their homes. According to residents, the fire may have been caused by an electric fault. Traders are also counting losses, running into millions of shillings after their property was destroyed. Residents have praised the swift response by firefighters who arrived promptly and managed to contain the blaze. Mombasa County Commissioner Mohammed Noor has blamed poor construction standards as a contributing factor to the frequent disasters in the county.
Okay, moto ilianzia kwa nyumba jirani, ikashika madrasa, na kuna matairi kidogo zilikuwa pia hapo kando, zikashika matairi, ikaingia kwa nyumba yetu ya mkono kushoto wangu. Lakini magari safari zimekuja, moja kwanza ilikuwa na maji kidogo, na ya pili kaja pia na maji, na kidogo imesave. Lakini nyumba ya kwanza imeungua kabisa.
Sisi tuko ndani ya nyumba tukashtukia tu tairi za waka. Badala tairi za waka, madrasa yetu, watoto wetu wenye wanasoma pia nayo imewaka. Mimi saa hii nimewachwa kwa jua, sina chochote na sina msaidizi, sijui la kufanya.
Kwa sababu shida kubwa ni kwamba wakati kama hizo unakuta kurespond inakuwa ngumu. Kwa sababu barabara mtu alijenga, mtu ile access road ambayo ingewezesha hiyo gari ifike kwa njia haraka, ama pata pale ya kuvuruta maji kupitisha nini na kwa ngumu. Sasa unaona pale zingine hapo Mombasa watu wanapanda mpaka maukuta. Kwa nini mtu apande ukuta na inatakana kuwa na barabara? So ni kitu ambayo tutaongea kwa county disaster committee, tuweze kujadiliana, tuweze kufungua hata zile eneo duni ambayo wananchi wanaishi, especially the slum areas. We usually have those problems.
Now, across to the U.S., and U.S. President Donald Trump says the U.S. is meeting with many countries, including China, on trade deals. And his main priority with China was to secure a fair trade deal that is between the two countries. Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One that he had no plans to speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping this week, but U.S. officials were speaking with Chinese officials. Trump repeated his claim that China had, quote-unquote, been ripping the U.S. for many years on global trade-ups.
Every country, almost without fail, friend and foe, has been ripping us off for years. So we're meeting with almost all of them, including China. And at the end, I'm setting the deal. They keep saying, when are you going to... This is not like a big deal that's going to be signed. In some cases, we'll sign. But we don't have to have signed. I'm going to be setting the deal. I'll be setting a tariff.
And of course, we'll keep having to watch what's happening between those two, because they impact us directly. And that's all we have for you right now on Citizen TV Briefs. Of course, more details will be coming your way later on at 7 and at 9 p.m. Do have a fruitful week ahead.